Word of prayer. Come. Someone said me. Who's going to open with a word of prayer? I think I saw a hand somewhere. Oh, let me stand here. Who's going to open with a word of prayer? Thank you so much. Clap for him as he's coming.
Close your eyes so that you may. God, thank you for getting us today. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for doing that. God, thank you for everything that you do. Before we do what we came to do, we praise because you are a God, you are a mighty God. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. Now we've started the meeting and I would like to request, as you can see at the front, you can see what is the theme for today. And the theme, inclusion. So we are celebrating you today. When you see me here, that's where I'm Antifei. Yeah? I hope that by the time tumefika katikati, one of you is going to be here and I'll be seated. Because today is your day and it's all about inclusion. And before we start, we want to share a small video. And then after the video, we want to have a conversation. We want to have what? A conversation. We want to see, when you look at the back, turn all of you at the back. Who is seated at the back? Adults. So we want to have a conversation between the children and the adults, so that at the end of today, we'll have been given an opportunity as children to present different conversations, and as the adults to play a listening role and to see how do we move on together. So I'd like to allow this moment for us to watch the videos, and after the videos then we are going to start the conversation and the dialogue today. Sawa sawa?
Involved in decision making, the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child, Article 12, and the African Charter on the all children have the right to be heard and be involved in decision making. The UN Convention on the Rights of the Child, Article 12, and the African Charter on the Rights and Welfare of the Child, Article 7, provide for the right of every child to be heard. Additionally, the Constitution of Kenya 2010 elaborates on the right to public participation, to which children are also entitled. The Government of Kenya's National Prevention and Response Plan on Violence Against Children in Kenya 2019 to 2023 calls on stakeholders to listen to children and be involved in all activities that protect children from violence. The UN Convention on the Rights of the Child, Article 12, and the African Charter on the Rights and Welfare of the Child, Article 7, provide for the right of every child to be heard. Additionally, the Constitution of Kenya 2010 elaborates on the right to public participation, to which children are also entitled. The Government of Kenya's National Prevention The UN Convention on the Rights of the Child, Article 12, and the African Charter on the right are confronted with various forms of violence, among them sexual, physical, and emotional violence. This is according to the Violence Against Children Survey Report of 2019. Through the JOFA project, activities aimed at enhancing children's abilities to participate or engage in child protection were identified.
So far, they have enhanced maybe the voice of the children, because if you look in the past days, before it was introduced here in Teso North, the child reporting was poor and many children didn't know about their rights. But ever since they came, they have made things easier, and child reporting has been up. And also, if you look in our schools, ever since this project was there, children have been reporting their cases. They've been airing out their views very well. They've given me a platform to share my voice as a child, because you find that in many meetings, forums, I've been given a chance to attend them, and there I can air my views, I can give opinions, I can give recommendations. I'm empowered to some point because I feel like people are supporting me, and they're there to listen to me.
What we were taught when I attended the workshop, first of all, was the pillars that stand for the right of children, like survival right. It goes under right to life, right to food, right to shelter. Then protection right, right to be protected from child abuse, sexual abuse. Then participation right, like what I'm doing right now or when we attended the workshop. Then developmental right, right to education, right to play. And also, I was taught how to defend child rights and their responsibilities.
The most things that I learned during life skills lessons is that I could do many things, just not sitting around waiting for me, something that I could do very well to be done for me. I learned how to protect myself from molesters and traffickers. I learned how to protect others and to give others their own voice so that they could be more clear to others.
We came here for a workshop last year on October 6th. So we learned a lot about our rights. So as I went back there at home, I educated the people and I told them that they have the rights. I called a small gathering. Sometimes as boys, we like playing ball in the evening. After we finish, when they sit down to relax, you tell them about their rights, their responsibilities, and how they can go with them. And when they see any child being exploited, and what number they can call so that they can get help. And that is the police station, to the chief's office, to the CC office, and here the CPU, and even to the teachers at our school.
The main point that I've learned as we've been undergoing training is about the child responsibility, where each and every child outside there knows that we have our own rights, the child rights. But the children do not know they also have a responsibility towards their parents, towards the community, towards the government. So the training that we've undergone has helped me become a better citizen, a better child in the Republic of Kenya.
Sisi huwa tunakuwa na vikao kama mara moja kwa wiki ama kama mara mbili kwa wiki. Tunaweza kuzungumzia haki za watoto. Mimi kama kiongozi siwezi kuweza kunyamaza. Haki zile ambazo tumefundishwa kama watoto. Mimi kama mtoto inabidi niwe na cheti cha kuzaliwa. Haki ya pili, mimi kama mtoto inabidi nilindwe na wazazi. Ninywe maji masafi tena yenye hayana uchafu. Niwe na choo safi, tuwe kwenye nyumba safi na yenye kupendeza. Mimi kama mtoto inabidi niweze kuenda shule, niweze kujua mambo ya shule.
Children must be involved in decision making. They can oppose the decision or propose the decision, so that they can feel like they are being listened and they are being recognized.
The Bungoma County government helped us in participation of the decision-making process, where we discussed, we wrote the MOU and we presented the MOU. And that made us to feel that we as the children, we are listened and we have right to choose what we want, but to choose what we are comfortable with.
Sisi kama watoto tulikuwa tukifundishwa na All Division kulinda haki zetu na kuzitimiza. Wametufundisha usioleke mapema na kujiprotect my body.
haki ya watoto ni kulinda vizuri na upate maisha mema na upate yajayo mwishoni ukimaliza kusoma na ukipata elimu nzuri.
Whereas much has been achieved in line with child participation in child protection activities, more needs to be done. This is because the JOFA monitoring report indicated children's rights need to be heard is 7.9%, which is still low. This requires that children's right to participation be prioritized.
The children who are ignorant about their rights are now aware of their rights and they can fight for what is theirs with true power in them, thus making them better citizens in the future. Regarding children participation, the number of children is totally outnumbering the number of the officers who are expected to tend over them. And I would also like to say that the teachers should also be educated so that they can act as extra officials who are working with the children officers in order to reach a large number of children.
Children's voices should be heard because they're the leaders of tomorrow, and without them we don't have a future.
Okay, thank you so much. This echo. You'll allow me to speak. We've all watched the video. Let me now start asking questions. It was not just watching. How many of us know that as children we have rights? Children, how many of us know that as children we have rights? The next question, which right do you know? Ah, great. So you're just going to, I have so many hands, I will allow all of you to say something. So we start from you. Which right do you know?
Right for education.
So right to education, another right? Yes.
Medication.
Right to medication, that's right to health care. Yes.
Right to basic needs.
Right to basic needs, thank you. We come to the middle.
Right for education.
Right for education, yes.
Right to eat.
Right to eat, yes. We have a right to have food. Actually, that's great.
Right to play.
And can I give some Sharia Zaleo? Today we have rules. No one is giving a wrong answer. Everyone is giving a right answer, okay? So when a person says something and you feel like laughing, laugh because you feel that that is a very good answer. Not because you feel that they have answered wrong. Because we said that we have a right to basic needs, yeah? And food is part of it. Yes, next.
Right to play.
We have a right to play.
Right to for protection.
Right to be protected, yes.
Right to drink clean water.
Great. Next.
Right for a good shelter.
Yes. Next.
Right to live.
Yes. Next, there's a hand somewhere here. There's a girl here.
Right to choose friends.
Yes, yes. From the video, which rights? Oh, yes.
Right to school.
Right to education, thank you. What else? There were hands behind here. Or this,
Right to adequate of food.
Thank you. And there was a hand back there before we move to the front.
Right to clothing.
Yes. And actually, we are all dressed. Thank you.
Right to our decision making.
Yes. Yes, a right to participate in decisions which affect us. Thank you. Those a hand here, I think. And there was somewhere there.
Right to be loved.
Oh, yes. Ikuwa kuna pitisha tu. Right, because today we are celebrating what? The World Children's Day. And when we are celebrating World Children's Day, we are also looking at what rights do we have as children. You've all said right to education, you are all in school. Imagine how it would be if you are not going to school. Imagine if you stay without food. Imagine when you're sick and you're not going to hospital. Is it fun? Exactly. That's why you have rights. And I'm happy that you know these rights, and I've seen you've put them around the room. We'll be walking around and reading the rights that we've put up. Having said that, there's one person who said that we have a right to decision making. And today we want to have that conversation. We want to have a discussion of how do we get involved in decisions which affect us. And that's why I think you came up with the representatives who are going to be talking up here. But I also want to recognize that in the room, we have the emerging adults, students from St. Paul's University. Makofi kwao. Thank you. And we have students from St. Paul's Primary School. Makofi kwao. St. Paul's University, now ni nyinyi naangalia. I'm looking at you to see if you are clapping for St. Paul's Primary. Makofi kwao. Thank you so much. So it's important for us to know the rights that we have. But it is also important for us to see how do we get to actualize these rights within our lives. And so next I'm going to be inviting the team which is ahead of me here. They will each introduce themselves, and we will give each of them 3 minutes to address us. And there will be wakurugenzi, wakisimama tunawapigia makofi. Wakizungumza twasikiza. Because at the end of the day, we have a lot of take-home messages. And today, there's no wrong answer. Okay? So we are only allowed to celebrate, but we are not allowed to boo. And having said that, I would like to also request that this session will take longer than we expected. So we'll move up to 4:30. Please, let's be patient. Today is a day to listen to the children, but also a day for us to converse with the children. We are starting the session with the children talking, and we are going to move on to the next session where we'll have adults and children having a conversation. We also want to acknowledge that today this event has been made possible by World Vision and St. Paul's University. Sawa sawa. So with that, allow me to introduce our able panel of, how many are we? Before I do bad math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So our able panel of 11 brilliant young people who have taken this opportunity to represent the voices of other many young people in this country. So I will request each of you just to introduce yourself, to say your name, the school. After we do introductions, then we will move straight to each of the panelists to speak. Welcome to the additional panel member. And with that, please, let's put our hands together to our able panel. Thank you so much. So, start from this end. Please introduce yourselves, your name, school, the class you're in.
Good morning, all. Good afternoon, all. My name is Margaret. I'm St. Paul's Primary School, and I'm in class 5, and I'm 11 years old.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Emin Joki. I come from St. Paul's Primary School and I am in Standard 7. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Jane Jerry. I am 11 years old. I come from St. Paul's Primary School. I am in grade 5.
Good afternoon. My name is Chantel Waithera. I'm from St. Paul's Primary. I'm in class 7.
Good afternoon. I'm Anne Wangoi. I'm in class 7 West and I'm from St. Paul's.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Irene. I'm Irene Longole and I'm in Standard 7. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Colin Salis. I came from St. Paul's Primary School and I am in class 7.
Good afternoon. My name is Lame Kabare from St. Paul's Primary School and I'm in grade 5 and I'm 12 years old.
Good afternoon. My name is Rispa Anjuru and I come from St. Paul's and I'm in grade 5.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Livingstone Mukalo. I am from St. Paul's Primary School and I am 14 years old.
Good afternoon. My name is Benson Omondi. Our school is St. Paul's Primary School and I am 11 years old.
Good afternoon. My name is David Joroge from St. Paul's. I'm Standard 7. I'm 14 years old.
Good afternoon, one and all present here. My name is Cynthia Sharon and I'm in Standard 7.
Thank you so much, our able panel. So we'll start from what side? We are all prepared. This end says that end says this end. So I am the one to do what? Picky. Which side do we go to? Imeland wapi? Okay, Imeland huku. Sawa. So we are going to start this discussion and I'm going to allow each of us 3 minutes or even short. I know you've all prepared to discuss about children's rights and issues around decision making, and you also have a message to leaders in this room. So I will allow us 3 minutes each. Once you're done, you can pass on the mic. Sawa. So we'll start from this end.
I will thank you all for coming here, for listening to us. I will thank you all for coming here, for listening to us, and I will come here. I have come to talk about Feeders Road. There is some roads that are near our school. There are so much, mostly when it's rainy. There are some schools who are suffering, and there are some schools who are traveling with bus, and there are some children who are walking. We are suffering. I will beg the government to help us, and even I will thank you all if you do this to us. Thank you.
Hi. I would like to talk about child labor. There are some parents who overwork their children until at night. Those children, they don't have time to rest, read or revise for the exam. Not only that, but there are some pupils who have completed their primary education, but they haven't joined Form 1. This is because you can find a parent, they don't have money or they died. I would like to say, if our government and the national government could provide funds for them in order to complete their education. There are also people who go to work in tea plantation, coffee plantation, and also as a house helper in order to earn money to provide basic needs for his or her family, like clothing, shelter, food, and also paying school fees for his younger siblings. I would like the government and the national government to provide for them. Thank you.
Hi. Today I want to talk about security. I would like the national and the county government to improve security. For example, putting traps to catch wild animals like hyenas. I would also request them to reduce the theft of people who come to steal at night. So I would like the county and the national government to catch those thieves who steal. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I would like to talk about emotional torture. So some children in our county, some of them pass through challenges that mostly the girl child, we are treated less than most of the men because people think that our only responsibility is to take care of children and wash the utensils. But we can do better if you give us a chance. If you give us even a small chance, we can show that we can do anything. Because as women, if we want in the world, where will the next generation come from? Because we are the ones who give birth. We're the ones who bring children in the world. If we want here, there will be no next generation. And also I'd like to talk about the girls who are having emotional problems, because even boys, most of them, because when you go to a new place, you have a lot of trouble getting used to it. Some people you go to visit your relatives, and then you find there you are treated differently than your cousins, and you get most emotional trauma, and it's hard to get through. So sometimes some people end up committing suicide. So I would like to tell the government to provide us with with teachers who will help us go through these problems. But if you can't go through it alone. Some people end up having depression. You get depressed. You can't get out of your house. So I would like to request the government to provide us with the teachers who will help us and give us some children. They have a hard time telling people the truth because you have to lie to hide who you are. Because if you tell them, people won't like it and they might even say, nini wanakuwa tuna mashida mingi. So we try and get through that, mostly the girls. Some people don't act naturally. You have to act like another person when you are at public places. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Anne Wangoi, and I'm going to talk about guidance and counseling. You can find out that some children are being bullied and they can't share it with their friends since they are tortured since they can't share it with others and they can't tell their parents. So we are pleading to the national and the county government to help us with teachers of guidance and counseling. Thank you.
Good evening once more. I'd like to thank you all because you have taken your time to come here to listen to our challenges and I hope you will take serious on it. First, I would like to talk about sanitary pad. Girls are suffering a lot. We will like, you find girl, she's in period and his mother doesn't have money to buy for him, so she feel embarrassed, and she feel embarrassed, and as our county national government, we will request you to provide sanitary pads to schools, so these girls feel that they have people who cares for them. And actually, I would like to congratulate those who won their prize in New York, Eco Banners. I would like to say thank you very much, because we know they will help children in school and they will provide more sanitary towels. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to talk about child abuse. Child abuse or child maltreatment is physical, sexual, and psychologically maltreatment or neglect to a child, especially by a parent. Many children are abused by parents, relatives, neighbors, and even strangers. I would like the county and national government of Kenya to discourage those people who abuses children. Anyone who is found abusing children should be jailed and even arrested. Thank you.
Good afternoon once again. I'd like to talk about hunger. This issue has become a disaster to our country, so people of lack of food and water. Mostly children are the affected. I kindly request the county and national government to provide free food programs in schools and in country and in families that are really in need of food and water.
Good afternoon once again. I would like to talk about the children that are homeless. I would like the national government to take a step and to help the children who are there sleeping at the roads and they don't have food to eat. They wake up and go to work so that they can find food. I would like the national government to help them because they are children and they should be taken to take education, and thank you.
Good afternoon once more. Me, I would like to talk about teachers. In our school, we have less teachers. You get that one teacher is teaching 3 subjects. And us like children, we are not comfortable with that. We would like to tell the county and the national government to employ more teachers in our school. In CBC, there is more subjects, and we would like to tell the national and the county government to employ more teachers so that everyone can be comfortable with that. Thank you.
Good evening once more. I would like to talk about social amenities. I will kindly request the national and the county government to construct libraries so that people could go there and read storybooks so that they could be able to speak, write, and understand and talk about fluent English and Swahili. Also, for example, in our area, we have a social hall there. Please, government, donate storybooks so that during this long holiday, people could go there and lead, because an idle mind is the devil's workshop.
Good afternoon once more. I would like to talk about environment. Environment is things, living things and non-living things that surround us. First of all, I would like to talk about the most important thing in our areas, trees. Trees are the most important things in our areas. It gives us oxygen, food, and rain. So I will request for the county government to donate trees in our community and in our school. That's all I have. Thank you.
Good afternoon once more. Today I would like to talk about hospitals. There are children who are sick, but when they go to hospital, they found that the hospital does not have medicine. So they return back home without getting treatment. I would like the county government and the national government to give medicine to the hospital so that a child, when he comes to the hospital, he will get treatment. Thank you.
Good afternoon once more. I want to add something about graders like class 6. What I want to say, I request the government to let the grade 6 learners remain in primary because they are still younger and the teachers know them better than other teachers. We don't say that other teachers, they don't know them or they don't know how to teach. They still know, but there are some teachers who know their learners better than others. That is what I want to request from the government. Thank you.
We can do better. We need to give a better clap to our able panel. Leo na wafunza. There's the rain clap. When it rains, it's the rain season. It starts with what? Inaanza na manyunyu, rasha. And then inaenda nini? Mvua. Sindio? And then, okay. So, you just look at, we'll start with one finger, moving on until we do the whole hand clap. So let's start. 2 fingers, 3, 4, 5. Thank you so much. And it's quite interesting that our able panel has handled things so well that my work is reduced. Because in essence, we were to have a conversation. But they have decided, as we work on this conversation, we have to state the situation as it is. So we really appreciate the panel up here, which is a representation of the children in the room. There are quite a number of things which have been raised and things which are important to them. And at this point, I don't want to sum up the things that have been raised, but we all have seen that there's a linkage between the concerns raised and the rights that the children are entitled to. Si ni kweli? So at this point, I would like to ask again on the children on this side, is there anything else that we want to add? Tumewakilishwa vizuri? Everything has been covered? Yes. So let me, yes? Oh, teacher knows there's someone who needed to do what? Please come. Okay, if you're not comfortable, it's okay. You'd like to come or I give you the mic? That's okay. That's okay, because again, it needs a bit of confidence and preparing, so that's okay. We'll still get you to maybe write it down and we have this conversation. But I want to ask now in this room, how many of us have made decisions in our lives? A decision. Do you know what decisions are? Unaamua kufanya kitu. How many of us, even the adults? So what decisions have we been involved in as the children? Have you been involved in decisions at home? Have you been involved in decisions at home? Have you been involved in decisions at school? Have you been involved in decisions at church? Have you been involved in decisions at where? Chief Baraza? We've said we've been involved in decisions at home. So who can share a decision they made at home? Anyone can lift their hand and we can give you the mic. We said, we make decisions, we are involved in decisions at home. So which decision? Yes. She's involved in planning for a meal at home. Let's clap for her. So mommy gets to ask, what will we eat? And she gets to decide on that. Anyone else? A decision at home? Yes?
Buying clothes.
You are asked, what would you like?
Yes.
Let's clap for him. He's involved in decision making. In decisions, remember we said in children's heart are decisions about what? Things which concern us. Is clothes. Who else? Decision at home? There's a hand. Okay, then there's someone here. Then we go here and there. Okay.
Helping my elder sister to clean utensils and clothes.
She gets to ask you, please help me. And you say, okay, sawa, I will help. Yes. Then that's a clap for you. There was a hand here.
Which books to be bought for me?
Oh, what books to be bought for you? Yeah. Is it school books or is it...
Revision books.
A clap to him. So he's usually asked, you need revision books, but which books would you like? So he's involved in that decision making, which relates to his education, relates to access to meals, relates to his clothing. Now, how many of us, we said that we're also involved in decisions at school? So how many would give us a few examples of the decisions we make at school? We have a hand here and there's a hand there.
Electing the class representative.
Clap for him. So you are involved in an election process, just like adults are involved in going to vote. You come and decide who is going to be your class representative. That is important, yes?
To conclude to our teachers which problem we are facing and to appreciate the teachers who have done their work well.
Hey, let's clap for her. So that's another decision making. You're involved in appreciating the teachers and assessing how the teachers have performed. That's important. Any other hand decisions we make at school? There's a hand near teacher.
My name is Charles Ndongo.
Yes, Charles.
Making rules in the class.
A democratic process. Making rules in the class. Let's clap for him. Now, decision making at church. We said yes. I was listening. So what decisions do we make in church? There's a hand there.
My name is James Orr. A decision it makes planting trees.
Great. So you're involved by your church in decisions on planting trees. Let's clap for him.
My name is Vivian.
No, it's okay. She can even sit. Yes, Vivian.
My name is Vivian. A decision to pray.
Vivian is involved and asked who would like to pray. And Vivian gets to decide and gets up to pray. Let's clap for her. I think we have two hands.
A decision of singing.
So you're given the opportunity who would like to lead praise and worship or to sing, and you do that. Let's clap for her.
Lame Kabare. A decision to worship.
Yes. Let's clap for him. Oh, there's another hand.
A decision to ask, what did you learn today?
At home or at church? Let's clap for him. An important one is asked, what did you learn today? Which is important to see if he picked anything. So we have 2 last hands. Oh, 3. We start from here and then we move this side.
A decision on who read the Bible.
Aha. You're involved in decisions of who is going to read the Bible verse for the day.
A decision who is going to lead the Sunday school.
Aha. Decision on who is leading Sunday school. Oh, clap for the 2. There were, I think, 2 hands, and then we can proceed on. You've not said anything. I'll give you that chance. You and her. Yes. Where's the mic?
A decision to sweep the church.
Great. We're involved in church activities by being given that opportunity, but also the decision to do what? To sweep the church. Clap for him. Yes.
A decision for what dance will go into dance and which song will go into sing.
Hey, clap for her. These are the dance groups, eh? They decide which dance to include. It's not just being told this is the dance, but also the song. So let's clap for ourselves. We've said we're involved in decision making at home, at school, and at the church. Then I asked, kwa Chief Baraza? No, let me ask, in the public decision making, are we involved? So for us, we've been involved in a lot of decisions affecting us, but also where the larger community is at. So that's very important. And conversations today is, you are getting that opportunity today to have a conversation with different decision makers and duty bearers. And from what you've raised, these are also opportunities that you're being involved in that process by highlighting what you are going through. So before I transit and hand over to the next moderator, I would like to also reach out to the emerging adults. I was told they are not young adults. It's emerging adults. So I want to ask, when you look at your life, when you are this age, what decision opportunities were you involved in? And not in any particular order, but because I saw quite a number of you, I would like to request if we can have about 2 or 3 to represent the rest. The St. Paul's University team.
Yes, my younger brothers and sisters from St. Paul's Primary, habari zenu? All right, my name is John Gesora, and I'm glad to be with you this afternoon. So, when I look back, when I was young, just young as you are, I find myself being a challenge because I couldn't express myself the way you have expressed yourselves here because maybe of the background, even the way we were raised in that particular moment. So on my case, I want to address the following. We find that our parents do not involve children in decision making. You find in our families, just our parents identify a certain challenge, goes on, find a solution to that challenge without our involvement. For example, in our homestead, our parents decide that our children are walking naked. Our children are not having enough food to eat. So our parents take an initiative of looking for clothes and clothing us without consulting us. So in the process, you find bought clothes. Jane also good clothes, which maybe she not require at the moment. I require shoes, you require clothes, and someone requires something. So in this process, we find parents should have a meeting with us children. Mzazi anatuambia kama watoto, leo usiku tuko na mkutano kidogo, tuongee mambo yanayohusu familia yetu. Kwa hiyo mkutano unamwambia mimi John sina nguo, Jane mimi nataka kiatu, fulani sina hii. So wazazi they involve us in that decision making process so that each and every person is comfortable. In case there is a challenge at home, kama sasa tulisema, kama naweza sema in our families tunaweza kuwa na ng'ombe ama something like that, na hiyo ng'ombe haisaidii. Mnaona ng'ombe ileti maziwa, iko tu ni kama mzigo, ni kama burden. So wazazi wanaenda forward, wanauza hiyo ng'ombe, but maybe sisi kama watoto tuko na idea tofauti. Maybe tunamwambia mama, acha hii ng'ombe ikae tu kidogo, tupatie muda, inaweza toa mazao mema. So zetu wazazi watuambie, ndio tumwambie kwamba ama badala ya kuuza hii, enda exchange. Kuna yenye niliona fulani ako nayo na anataka kuuza. Unaweza pata familia nyingine imelack school fees na wanauza ng'ombe yao mzuri. So sisi kama watoto najua si tunatembeanga sana. So unaweza pata kwa jirani umeona ng'ombe mzuri ambayo inafaa kuuzwa, si ndio? So naambia dadi, hii usipeleke soko, peleka kwa kina John, kuna yao wanauza, then you exchange, alafu wauze hii. Kwa hivyo wazazi wenye mko hapa ndani, ni jukumu lenu sana. Kwa hivyo najua kuna wenye hapa mnapata salary. So after end month ukipokea mshahara yako, kuja kwa familia, ita watoto wako, waambie John unataka nini, Mary unataka nini. So in that process tunapata kwamba sisi watoto tunajihisi tunapendwa na wazazi, tunajihisi kuna ile security ambayo tunafaa kupata kutoka kwa wazazi. Ndio nilikuwa naye.
Thank you so much. A better clap for him. You've heard what he said. When he was your age, he was not getting decisions. He was not making decisions like you are. Even me, I didn't elect my class representative. Kwanza sisi tulikuwa na monitor. We didn't elect. So this is really impressive. Tangaza College, I know we have emerging adults here. I would also like to pose the same question. When you are this age, what decisions were you involved in? And I'd like to request if you can have 1 or 2 representatives coming up to the front. Karibu sana. And you share your experience.
Hi, how are you? Okay, so my name is Telma. I'm in Tangaza University College. When I was your age, I had a 50-50 experience. There were times I could make some decisions, and there are others I wasn't allowed. So I'll share on both sides. One, I was allowed to choose on a school that I will go to. So that helped me to choose where it will help me in my future life. Other than that, where I didn't feel I was really allowed to make my decision was on the clothes I would go to church with. I really wanted to look like those other girls, but you know, mom is like, apana, you have to wear like a church girl. And that come out like made me feel belittled. But yeah, but right now when I am at this age, at least I'm allowed to do it. So yeah, you guys are privileged that you can now tell your parents, me, I can't wear that. My friends are not doing that. But for us, it was this way or there's no other way. Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon. You are okay? Yeah, I'm okay. My name is Zipporah Mwendo. I'm in Tangaza University, and I'm doing a course in child and youth studies. I'm spending 4 years, you can imagine, studying about children and youth, how to protect you guys and how to make you develop. And I'm so glad to be here this afternoon. So when I was your age, around 20 years back, I remember where it was tough. We used to live in up country. Na najua Kitui. Imagine, we were living huko interior. And I would say my experience in giving decision were like 2080. Everything like was being decided for us. I remember my cousins came from Nairobi during Christmas. And then they came home wearing trousers. And then I wanted a trouser. So imagine what my mom did. She picked a trouser like the one I'm wearing now, and a very long dress, the same size of the trouser. And I really cried because I wanted to look like my cousins from Nairobi. So, yes. So, it was kind of embarrassing. And I remember at our home, we were not allowed to put on trousers until I think around 2016 is the time I started wearing trousers when I'm going home, when I'm interacting with my parents. And even now, I can't wear a tight one when I'm going to Ushago like you guys. So I really thank God because I'm able now to decide what clothes to wear, how to wear them, and where to wear them. So you guys, you are so much privileged to talk to us right now or during this era, so that when we will be representing you or formulating policies and interventions to help children, at least we know the issues that you need to be addressed. Sawa sawa, we got you covered. Sawa? Yeah, thank you.
A better clap for the two. So I'd like to hand over to the next moderator. And I'd like to us to appreciate again the panel up here and request if we can now move to our seats. And we are clapping until they sit. Till they sit. Until they sit. We are clapping until they sit. Thank you so much. From Auntie Faye, I hand over to Elijah.
Good afternoon. Now, seated behind there is very interesting. If you listen to what the children were telling us. My name is Bonye Elijah. I work for World Vision Kenya. Now, I want the following people to take a walk in the room and just look at the wall. So I'll start with the Deputy County Commissioner. Where are you, sir? Yes. Then we have the County Director for Education. Director for Education Department, County, or representative? Education Department? Yes. Please rise up. Professor Ngure, Frederick Kasiku, the representative of Children Officer. Children Officer. Okay. Tangaza representative. Tangaza representative. Dr. Wamuyu, please rise up. The head teacher of the primary school, if you are here. Okay, please walk around the room. I'm giving you 3 minutes and look at what the children put on the wall. Then you come to the front. The rest you can keep seated. Allow our guests to walk around the room and look at what the children put on the walls. Then you can take the front seats. Make sure you walk all around the room and take notes. You can take notes. And let it come. For those of us who may not be aware, we have a new law known as Children Act 2022. Watoto, mmesikia hiyo sheria? Mmesikia kitu kama hiyo? Kuna sheria mpya ya watoto itwa Say Children Act 2022. Yes. So when you go to school, maybe you can now ask the teachers more about Children Act 2022. Hiyo sheria ni yenyu. Sawa sawa? Now, if you look at it, and I'll be very specific, just scroll down. It's huge, and we may not have the time to hapo tu. Ndugu menda sana. I wanted to show you hapo tu, yes. Make it a little bit wider. Rudi nyuma kidogo. Okay. All the things we were saying, you can see there, this law, pale juu. Unaona pale juu? Haki zenyu zote ziko pale. So unaona pale? Kuna right to health, kuna right to basic education, kuna right to social security. Just scroll down kidogo. Kuna right to be protected from child labor. There are many things. Scroll down. Sasa ile muhimu nataka tuone, endelea chini kidogo. Section number 28. Ukirudi nyumbani ama katika shule, hii Children Act kuna section number 28. Mtakumbuka hiyo section number 28? Katika Biblia unasema chapter this, verse this. Si ndivyo? Kwa hii sheria tunasema part this, section this. So leo tuko na section 28. Section 28 pale inaandikwa right to assemble, demonstrate, petition and participate in public life. I'm sure many adults here are shocked that there's a law that says children have the right to demonstrate. Now scroll down to the substantive part. I want just to read it so that then I put the discussion into context. Kimbilia section 28 tuone vizuri vile iko. Haraka kidogo. Mwalimu wa Kiswahili huko? Mwalimu wa shule wa primary? Kuna mwalimu wa Kiswahili hapa? Nilikuwa natarajia kwamba utatuelezea kwa Kiswahili, lakini bwana Kasiku atatusaidia hapo. Endelea tu section 28. Nataka kusoma vizuri. Sasa katika kanisa, sawa, hapo ndugu. Hapo umeenda 26. Scroll down. In church there. Just scroll so that you start at 28. Boss. Juu. Look at 28. I'll tell you. Endelea tu. 28. Endelea tu. Hapo sasa. So make it big so that I can read. Now, sometimes when you go to church, after church, you go and read clearly what the pastor was saying. Sindio? So here, for the first time in this country, we have a law that says every child has the right, peaceably and unarmed, to assemble, demonstrate, or present petitions to public authorities, and to freely participate in matters affecting children through lawfully established forums, associations, assemblies at the national and county level. The right of every child to assemble, demonstrate, and to present petitions shall be subject to the rights of others. Next is, in addition to the rights, every child shall have the right to express their views in all matters affecting them, and have those views heard and given due weight in accordance with the child's maturity. Alafu ya mwisho kidogo tu chini. Every child has a right, scroll down, voluntarily and without any undue influence, coercion, inducement, or enticement by any person. And the most important one, waziri, cabinet secretary intakana atengeneze nini? Masharti ama zile sera guidelines, ndio? Now why I'm bringing this is because public officials in the country now are confronted with a very unique challenge. The unique challenge is that children are likely to demand that they be consulted, especially when you don't plan to consult them. So that as opposed to waiting for children to demanding that consult us, then what do we need to do to plan in advance? It's a unique challenge. Now, having listened to all the children views and the context of what I've just read, we'd like to give you at least 3 minutes each for the first round. You'll just introduce yourself and tell the children what your role is, where you work, and what you do. And most importantly, we are in Limuru sub-county. Put it into context, how do you recommend that the children in Limuru sub-county can be heard so that they present these issues and the issues are addressed? So for now, we are not necessarily addressing how the issues will be dealt with only, but we are looking into a few children from Limuru sub-county are here, but there are many more. So if they want good roads, how can we ensure that they are listened to much better for the roads to be prioritized? Just that. So pick any issue that the children raised and try and explain to the children how you feel or how you recommend they can be better consulted, better engaged, for them now to demonstrate properly how they want those issues to be addressed. They have told you they want good roads, but perhaps they're interested in taking you where the road is so that you see. We may not have that time today. They have told you they want sanitary towels. Perhaps they want to tell you the quantity they want. So can I start from my left? Your name, what you do, and then in 3 minutes you can respond to the issues children were saying from the context of participation. You are free to use English or Kiswahili.
Good afternoon. I'm Faith Kioko from the Children's Office, Limuru Sub-County. We have come here today to listen to your views. So the first one that I would like to address, kuna moja nisikie ikiongelea kuhusu education trauma, if I got it correct. I don't know. What I would like to say about that mainly for our office plays a very big role in ensuring that kids still remain to school and they have the right to education. So the bursaries that are given to our offices, there's also, if the child is having any traumatic event that is hindering him or her to continue the education, the counseling services that we do offer, we also liaise with the school so that to ensure that the child continues going to school well. I hope I will address one of the issues.
Thank you. Ofisi ya watoto. Sumona tuko na ofisi ya watoto Limuru. Wangapi walikuwa najua kuna ofisi ya watoto Limuru? Watoto mko najua hiyo? Kuanzia leo mjue kuna ofisi ya watoto wapi? Limuru. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Susan Ayeko, also from the Children's Office Limuru. I've walked around and I've also heard from the children, and I'm happy because they know their rights and they know how what should be done to them. But as I listened to this, what they were saying, I asked myself, suppose it is not done to them, do they know the action they should take? The answer is, there is an office in Limuru sub-county, in Limuru town, Children's Office Limuru sub-county. You can come and we can see what we can do, how we can intervene about the issues. Thank you.
Okay, I beg to talk as I stand. That's what I'm used to. I'm Stephen Karanja Dongo. I'm the head teacher, St. Paul's Primary School. On the issues raised by our pupils this afternoon, we have the issue of roads I want to assure you it's a real issue with us. Just here at the junction here, because, it's there. Okay, the road is very narrow, and the university authorities recently tried to remove some structures that are normally constructed near the road. And we were actually very happy about it, because our children are normally forced to walk on the road, which is very dangerous. Our main worry now is the whole thing has been relaxed and the structures are back. So when our children complain about the road, I think partly they are talking about that section. We are also talking about another roaming danger, especially with the motorbikes. There is a lot of carelessness in the way motorbikes are moving, posing a lot of danger to our children. They've also talked about child labor. That one is very real. There are some children who practically drop out of school, and they are seen just around doing some manual labor. So child labor is actually real. They are talking about security. Like recently, and coming from this particular area, you'd think it's a joke. There have been hyenas. You heard the children talk about hyenas. And some of them have to walk long distances, especially in the tea plantations. So when they talk about matters of security, I think that one is very real. And I can see we have a person from the security department in Limuru. They are talking about guidance and counseling. Whether the government can actually provide teachers who can specialize in guidance and counseling, because they feel probably they have issues that they would like to discuss if there were experts in that particular field. Actually, that one is another reality. Sanitary pads. Hapo ndiko tuko na shida. Once we talk about sanitary pads, those families who cannot be able to offer them, actually some girl child are forced to stay at home. And we are very happy. There was a group of university students from here who were innovating a certain kind of sanitary pads, went to an international contest somewhere in New York, and I think they won a lot of money. Was it $1 million or what? And they had promised us, if they win, they would bring us a lot of sanitary pads in our school. So we are waiting for that. Yeah, we are waiting for that. Okay, another real issue that we face is food. Okay, majority of these children will tell you they were not able to get enough to eat. But even as they come to school, you'll find they've carried nothing. So I normally look at the situation and wonder. Because even when parents say that they've taken breakfast, I normally imagine that what they took for breakfast is just a cup of tea. That is what we call breakfast. And that child is supposed to stay on until they go home the following day. So I think on issues food, if something can be done, we would be so much happy. So they've also raised another issue, especially grade 6, the grade 6, and it's another concern. I've seen it in parents, I've seen it in the children themselves. That feeling probably going to the secondary school would be too much premature. So they feel safer where they are. So on those issues, I would attest that they are very much true. And as a teacher, they are also a big concern to me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Emphasize. But now, moving forward, I would like us to engage the children by just sharing how you recommend they can be engaged better so that they can discuss these issues much better. Because I'm sure in this room, we may not have the answers to all their questions, but we can commit to engage much better with them on how those issues can be addressed.
Okay, thank you. I will also stand. My name is Emily Mukwanjiro Nyaga. I am an Assistant Director Education representing the County Director of Education, Kiambu. I'm so excited this afternoon to see our very young leaders here and our young adults who are in that vange that we can refer to them as children also today. And I want to say for our students who are here from the universities and our very young boys and girls that are here, you have to know that you're very key to our nation. Our nation values children. If anything would happen in this room right now, probably about me, the nation will not stand. Probably I will be handled within, it will be said, it will be just be talked casually that something happened, you know, an officer from the Ministry of Education, Kiambu, happened to have been in this university and something happened and it will just not meet anybody's eyes. But if anything happens to any of these young that you can see here, it will raise so much. And that's why the university found it worth to come to our Kiambu Education Office, because we have to be part of this. We are representing also our education office that is here, because if anything happened here and we didn't know what was happening, that's the time you'll know that Kenya probably tomorrow would just be focused to Limuru, but God forbid. I'm not saying that something should happen. So you are very key. You are valued not only in Kenya but also in the world. You can hear, or we have heard from you so much. And I wish to say that these children are well trained. We have managed to hear from a number of our young learners here. We have heard from Joki, we have heard from Jane, Chantel. If you are here, I would recognize all of you. And there was Lispa, there was our very young learner who is Obare. Come on, young man, just stand up so that we recognize you. He is in grade 5. He is in grade 5. They have talked very well. I'm picking on him not with discrimination. It's because he is the youngest, I think, he's in grade 5. And I think there was also Lispa. Where are you? Was Lispa in grade 5? Where is Lispa? Grade what? Yes, grade 5. The rest, I think, were in grade 7, but we had them right. And remember, as our young learners were speaking, they were talking about the government. I believe they were talking about the county government and the central government. But if we were to ask ourselves, who is the government? Who is the government? Yes, let's go thinking about who the government is, because the government is you, it is me, and there is much that we can do. We are that government. Although we have the government, there is a place for the government. I'll pick on a few things that have touched the Ministry of Education. Joki, where are you? By a show of hand, where are you, Joki? You raised something very pertinent. Joki from St. Paul's Primary, yes, you are here, very good. I'm telling them to stand because they raised things that touches on education. Then there was Irene who touched on sanitary sanitary towels, not sanitary, but Irene has talked about JSS, junior secondary, and then who else talked? There was also Irene on sanitary towels. Thank you so much. You can get seated. I know there is so much about sanitary towels, and as we are talking about sanitary towels, we are also thinking of the boys. You know, we can also talk about the boys. We can also have a debate about the boys, isn't it? We are all saying that the boy child to some extent has been neglected. But let me tell you, even the World Vision that is here, we realize that we have had some meetings with them and they have said, yes, we are also coming for the boy. I don't know whether I'm talking for the World Vision, but anytime we have had some engagement with them, they have expressed, we have also expressed that aspect from the Ministry of Education. I want to say, the government, for one, as per Joki, said that government should value education. And I want to say that the government of Kenya values education so much, we are committed to 100% transition. And that is why even the end teacher, who is, I think, in absentia here, would be a me witness. Anytime we have the intakes, whether it's from one, and mostly transition from primary to secondary, we have to really get out, even as Ministry of Education officials, the sub-county directors of education, the county directors of education, together with the other officers, we are working so closely with internal security, and we are able to get out, combing out the children that have not been able to be taken to school. So that for sure, I can tell you, or you can tell me, if there is a child that you know is out there and is not going to school, the chief should be aware, the assistant chief should be aware, and the same should be upgraded to the DC and all that, because that is what we are committed to, and we are doing it pretty well. Is there, I want to ask around here, and I want to ask the learners that are here, because we have said it has to be an engagement. Is there a child that you know is at home? Kindly tell me in this session, because I'm representing the county director of education, and the county director would want to know that child who is at home. Feel free, pick the microphone and say, you know a child who is at home. This is the kind of education that what we have these days, that freedom, whereby we are insisting that every child should be in school. Anyone by a show of hand? Anyone? Yes, let's hear that. And you can be sure I'll note that.
Yes, Nganga. Nganga. Form 1, Form 2. Yeshoro.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Okay.
Okay.
Dominic.
Dominic is in which class or high school?
No, he left us when we were in grade class 5.
Class 5. Pengine he transferred or something?
No.
Is anaonekana?
Yeah.
All right. Then we engage the parents, because that is the key. So should be the end teacher will report that. Someone else to be reported. There is another hand there.
Kamau and Irene.
Kamau and Irene, they are in which grade?
Kamau, she is grade 4.
Grade 4.
And Irene is
Pick those children for us so that we can also engage the head teacher. If he was here, he would tell us, but I can see he has just gotten out. Kamau and Irene.
David Robey. But I think he left school because of influence of friend, because today I saw her taking drugs like bangi and alcohol.
All
And
right.
riding on a motorcycle, which is for, and say in Kiswahili, kukomboa.
Kukomboa, okay. What a great engagement with the children this afternoon.
Okay, anyone else?
All right, anyone else?
Linus, and he is in grade 5.
He is in grade 5. A reason as to why he left school?
I don't know.
You don't know. This is how transparent we are. And from here, you can be sure we are going to engage the end teacher. And of course, the end teacher will give us a report on why these children should not be in school, because they are supposed to be in school. Thank you for that engagement. I believe whoever told us to engage, I believe I'm doing fine.
You're doing very well. Just
Yes.
can take the next 1 minute, then we hand over
Yes,
the
I'll
mic.
take the 1 minute. I'm talking of the sanitary pans. Last week we have had, we also get donors in the Ministry of Education, and we've had some donation of the sanitary pans. And because they are not enough, we are able to give the KIPSEA. So we have KIPSEA here, hapa hatuna KIPSEA. Sijasikia grade 6. Wako? Yes, we are particularly, especially at this time, we are saying we need to give our candidates a priority. And so we have a few. They may not be enough, but we want to believe by January, others are coming, and we'll have an opportunity, at least to allow our girls to be in schools. And I want to say, even for boys, I believe there are people out there that are thinking about you. So we have a few sanitary pants for the KCPE, the KCSE, and then the KIPSEA pupils. So I think with that, I just want to say that government is committed. Someone talked about JSC, SS. We are still waiting for the government to give us the way forward. See, we are aware there was a task force. And we happen to have come to the university. And I'm sure when we came to university, we must have conversed with you. I'm just thinking that it is you that who talked with us on the same, because the university had also something to offer. So I wish to thank you so much. And this forum, we can't take it for granted. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can we have the children, everyone rise up and stretch. Do you know how to stretch? Just stretch the way you'd want to stretch. Anyone wants to stretch? At the back, if you want to stretch, please stretch. The way you want to stretch. Muko sawa? Muko sawa? Muko chonjo? Okay, mketi. Now, I would like to invite the Deputy County Commissioner. And Bwana Deputy County Commissioner, as you prepare to speak to the children, I think the key question for you is that demonstrating the need to be involved in decision making. And children, the Deputy County Commissioner for this area is in charge of all national government functions. Ni kweli? Maybe atueleze ni vipi mtahusishwa katika mpangilio wa serikali. How are we going to ensure that moving forward, these children are consulted, whether it is security matters, whether it is bad roads? So karibu.
Asante sana wageni wetu ambao wameungana na sisi, wanafunzi wa vyuo na wanafunzi wa shule ya msingi. Hamjambo. I came a bit late because I consulted the wrong person to get here. But all the same, I've come. I've heard some of the issues that have been raised by you. My name, mimi naitwa Charles Mkele. I've been here for about 3.5 years. I'm starting my 4th year from 2019. I'm familiar with Limuru and what happens around Limuru. So the issues being raised are not very new. We know them. Sometimes we are able to tackle most of them. But as usual, sometimes we are limited in our capacity to be able to deal with all the matters that arise from day to day. Mainly, what the moderator is saying is that how do we get the children, small children, involved in decision making? I heard one of the young speakers saying that when he was growing up, he found everything decided for him. Mzazi akisema hivi ni hivyo. I went to a secondary school in my village a long time ago. I went from one in 1980. I studied barefoot up to Form 4 because the only time you're supposed to put on shoes is when you complete paying school fees. So you would just know if you are the sufferer, you don't put on shoes until you clear Form 4. So I put on, I went to Form 5, so I put on shoes when I went to Form 5. That decision, was it good for me? Do you think the decision was good for me? But I adhere to the decision, isn't it? So some parents make those decisions. They would hurt you, but so you also learn from them. I know most barazas are held by chiefs when you are in class, so you cannot attend the baraza, chief's baraza. And sometimes because of the way we have been brought up, we believe that only adults attend chief's barazas. But nowadays we don't chase away even the young people, and they're able to tell us their problems. And some of your problems are told through parents, peers, and other relatives that go to those barazas. So we are going to encourage our staff that they should hold barazas, mostly also over the weekend, so that when you are at home, you are able to attend and able to say what you wish to say. Sawa. We had the head teacher talk about security. I chair the security committee. The issues that come up around Limuru area. We have young people dropping out of school to join gangs, especially Kwambira. Very many. And in the last few months, we have lost so many young people through the bullet. Those who come from there know that they want to get rich quickly, they want to drive cars, they want to have good shoes, they want to go for discos, but they don't have money. They turn into criminals. We have, around society, we have tried to eliminate the selling of hard drugs. Sometimes we succeed, sometimes we don't. 3 weeks ago, there were young people from Kinyogori and Manguo. We had about 18 who slept in the cells, Form 2, Form 3, because they were partying at night. Sinukweli. So we have those problems with us. But at your age, you are the one supposed to say no to drugs, so that when you grow up, you don't admire somebody's lifestyle when you cannot afford it. Sawa. It's wrong. I know the other issues of security around St. Paul's, and Mwalimu talked about the structures. When they were making the road and they removed those structures, we were very happy. But I have seen them cropping back. Initially last year, around October, when the police came to arrest some fellows who were selling to St. Paul's University students bangi, they attacked the police officers. Those fellows in those kiosks are not as innocent as they look. We have had those problems, but we are dealing with them. And we can assure you that we are going to work as hard as possible to get the children and young adults to be on our side so that we can be able to combat crime. Sawa. So I wish to thank you for inviting me. The County Commissioner was supposed to be here, but he's gone to another place for another duty, so I was able to come on behalf. So anytime if you feel you can ask anything, ask me. My office is in Limuru town. My chiefs are on the ground, the ACC is on the ground. You will always get answers from them. Anything that you want to ask, kindly do. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Sasa serikali yameongea. I want you to give a question or a comment. Swali ama chochote tu kulingana na yale amesema. Sawa? Mmemsikiza vizuri? Eh? Have you heard him well? So nani akona jambo ya kumuuliza ama ya kuongezea? So utakuwa number 1. Mwingine? Kuna mwingine? Anything you want to add or ask? Okay, you only have one.
Me, I would like to ask, how many years would you jail a person who is employing children or selling drugs to them?
Thank you very much. Go ahead.
Thank you. Decisions about jailing are made by the judges. So they look at the circumstances. Sometimes you might be a minor and you're engaging in those drugs. Maybe you need counseling, not necessarily jailing. If you're a young person, we encourage young people to go back to school and be good people. So the judges make those decisions. Mine is to instruct the police officers to arrest. Sawa sawa? Thank you.
Anyone else? Nani ako na swali? Okay, kuna mwingine tena pale.
Asante sana. Naweza tusaidia aje kutengeneza barabara ya shule? Sorry. St. Paul's.
Haya, mwingine? Sasa ni kama bwana commissioner, kuna swali hujajibu vizuri. Hii mambo ya barabara wanataka kutoka hapa wajue inatengenezwa ama ni vipi?
I know young people believe ukiwa kwa serikali wewe ni wa kila kitu. That I must know everything. Sometimes we don't. But when you raise issues like that, because I sit with the policy makers, I'm able to talk to them. Niwaambie wanafunzi wamelia barabara ya kwenda kwao ni mbaya. Kwanza tunaanza na MCA ya Tigoni Ngecha. Kwa sababu sababu ndio mko. Huyo tutaanza naye, bunge mimi nakaa naye kwa kamati moja, nitamuongelesha. But as I leave here, I'm going to talk to the chief so that he can see the necessary people and he can remind us. Sawa, wacha tuwashughulikie. Sawa.
Panteni sana. Sasa upande huu yote ilikuwa serikali. Unaona kuanzia hapa. Kuanzia hapa mpaka huku ilikuwa serikali. Si ni sawa? Serikali ni sirika. So from here hawa wako hapa sasa, hawa si ofisa wa serikali. Hawa watatoa tu maoni yao. Sawa. They'll just share with us their views on how you can well be consulted, and we had assured the children that by 4:30 we will be leaving. So we have very few minutes. Let's take 2 minutes each and just give any general comments on how they can be well consulted.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sister Mary Ngina Ndungu. I am a lecturer at Tangaza University College, Department of Psychology. And we have listened to the voices of our children here. We are delighted and we are proud of you because you have challenged us as adults, as educators, and people that can represent you probably in a different forum. And therefore, listening to your concerns, your challenges, the rights that you have spoken about, I love to go to school myself, and there was no time in my life I could imagine not completing school. And therefore, when you speak about the right to education, I really hold that deeply in my heart. And therefore, I would love to see you really getting that right and going all the way to the level that you want to be. And I'll be very proud when you're able to finish your high school, your primary school, you go to high school, you go to university, and of course, I will see you in Tangaza University. I'll be your lecturer, Sindio? Yes, so we'll be able to see, probably speak with your parents and see that you are not denied this right to go to school, to go to the level that you want to, and also you are able to do your own part in terms of looking at your parents. They are doing their best to provide, to make you to give you the opportunity to go to school. Use that opportunity well. Take advantage of the care that your parents are taking upon you, the teachers are giving you the good opportunity to be able to accomplish and to achieve the dreams that you have. When you always speak, what would you like to be when you grow up? You all have dreams, isn't it? Yes, keep focus on that dream, and one day you will be able to achieve and become what you want in life. So you talked about the issue of counseling. You need counselors in your schools. In Tangaza, I'm in the Department of Counseling Psychology. I would be proud to provide maybe teachers or people that can help you to take care of your psychosocial support so that you are able to develop and be able to move through the challenges that you're facing, and you're able to accomplish your goals and your dreams. Thank you very much for challenging us, and we wish you all the best. Thank you. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, sister. Our honorable children, I'm so delighted to be with you here today. And I want to stick to the TOR that has been given by Elijah on forums that exist for child engagement or for engagement of children. One is we have many avenues and fora that we can utilize. One is the children assemblies. We have assemblies involving children, where children are given a platform to speak to their issues, starting with your clubs. Do you have clubs in schools? Do you have children clubs, like health clubs, debating clubs, and other clubs? You don't have? Wow, teachers. So we are challenging the Ministry of Education and the teachers to create those avenues, those clubs where children can meet and discuss their own issues. Those of us who work in the humanitarian sector, it is upon us to lobby and to petition for the sake of children, so that in school they have those avenues. The Assistant Director of Education has already noted that, because it is expected of them to deliver that. Number two is the participation of children in the development of key government and documents. One of them is the CIDPs. Those, I don't know if you have anyone from the county government of Nairobi here, or maybe we don't. But you have avenues where children can petition or can develop memorandums of understanding and speak to the issues that affect them and that they want included in the development plans of government. So those avenues exist. Number three is on through media. We have media engagements, and many times I see the current media wanting to hear the voice of children, the voices of children. So when we have opportunities and media is as coverage in Limuru, let's have children coming into place and speaking for themselves. Many times there is a temptation for us parents, caregivers, and leaders to want to speak for children, even when they are present. So it is prudent upon us to allow children to speak to themselves and to their issues through media. Nani angependa kuonekana kwa NTV ama Citizen? Ungefurahia? So when those guys come here, shout like Bartimaeus. You know Bartimaeus of the Bible? They say, Jesus, King, Son of David, I'm here. And people kept shouting them down, stop, until Jesus said, let him speak. The other thing is on speaking to our teachers. You should be able to identify that teacher who you can trust. Si uko na mwalimu unapenda? That teacher you can trust. If you have an issue that is affecting you, feel free to speak to that teacher. Feel free to speak to the principal or to the head teacher. Confine with them. Tell them that we have this problem at home. We have this problem with our peer learners. We have this problem in our village. And through the teachers, if they are able to articulate the issues, your issues will reach government, they will reach donors, they will reach partners. And the other thing is children forums. We have forums like the games. I know during the COVID-19 peak period, the games had been taken off calendar, but they are coming back. We have music festivals. Do you participate in music festivals? Yes. So use this music, use drama, use songs to speak to the world. Si ndio? Tungeni nyimbo za kuambia viongozi mambo ambayo hamutaki na hamupendi. Tumieni drama kuambia watu zile vitu mnapenda na zile hampendi. So use those avenues. Shout through those drama festivals, music festivals, sports and games festivals. We have use of religious leaders. Nani hapa aendi kanisa ama msikiti? Si tunaenda kanisa? Speak to your pastor, speak to your Sunday school teacher. Tell them, if you enda ukaambie county commissioner kwamba ile barabara hatuitaki, tunataka ijengwe. Your pastor, some of them are courageous. Watasimama kwa madhabahu pale waseme, barabara ya huku ni mbaya. See, the leaders will know. So speak through your pastors, your religious leaders. We have those avenues. We have Sunday school teachers. We have direct lines. Bonyo, we have a direct line that children can use to report their issues. What is the direct line? 116. So if you can have access to your mother's phone, to your caregiver's phone, and you have an issue that you want to report, just dial 116 and you will find somebody ready on the other side to speak to you. And then finally, is through the institutions of police, chiefs, we have county commissioners, teachers, and other avenues. As long as we make them friendly. I'm challenging all of us seated on this corner to make children conduct institutions friendly to children. The police, I know you have contact with the police, Pana County Commissioner. Let's make the police station friendly to children. Those who come from the Department of Children, let's be friendly to children. Those of us who are in NGO and humanitarian world, let us be friendly to children. So all those avenues exist for you to speak to issues environment, to speak to issues education, security, and once you speak to them, I'm telling you, a few or a number of people will be able to listen and act. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. On behalf of St. Paul's University, allow me to start by thanking World Vision Kenya and the partners here present for accepting to come to St. Paul's. I'm the Deputy Vice Chancellor in charge of academic affairs, and so we are very grateful that you found it fit to use our university as a forum for advocating for children. Watoto hamjambo. St. Paul's University Primary School are very good friends of ours. And in the last 1 year, we have visited you through our staff. Some of you must have participated in the research we did on the impact of COVID on children. We used several schools in this county for piloting. We want to assure you, and I will relate it to what we're saying, that we've already finished the data collection in 5 counties, and next week we'll be retreating to write the report. And part of what one of the children here has articulated is what we'll be going to advocate with government, the fact that we seriously need to have trained counselors in schools. So they were spot on. In a different research that we are doing with NCCK, there is demonstrated need to have chaplains employed by government and supported by government in all schools in Kenya. Children have ability to express themselves, and as you've seen today, they have done better than what we would do. So I would urge we as parents and leaders to speak less, to reduce our volume and increase their volume. I think one of the challenges that we have as adults is that we do not listen keenly to children. One of the ways then we should do is to start listening more keenly to children. Let me give 2 or 3 examples for St. Paul's and what we can do with World Vision, the Kiambu County, the national government, and other partners. We have a community radio a few meters from where I'm standing here, and I want to ask those in communication to make very urgent plans. I can see my brother is here. To make urgent plans to invite some of the children here to come to the radio station here on this campus and be able to articulate their needs for not less than an hour. please give them an hour or more, because we have to be very practical with what we do. We would also want to advocate to the lecturers here present and the students to prioritize research. I think this is a very rich area for research. Let us research on the best strategies that students and young peoples and children the strategies that are most effective in communicating their needs. I think if we do that survey, we'll be able to share the results with WVK and the government so that it is evidence-based. We also have lecturers who teach advocacy, and I can see some of them in the room, including Dr. Wamoyo, seated to my left. And I want to encourage them now to visit the local primary schools and package a very simple training, if possible in Swahili or very simple English, so that we can go to the schools and with the permission of the county bosses here present, the county education bosses here present, we go and teach them using very simple language on strategies for advocacy, so that they can be able to package what they have and run with it. In the last few months, our Department of Communication has been running an essay competition sponsored by Optiven. I would want to urge Dr. Winnie Ndeta and Professor Muhoho, who has been around here today, to make sure that the next round of competition for essays, the main subject would be children's rights and children's voices, so that we can invite the children here present and many others to compete. In the last round, we mainly engaged with high schoolers. Now in the next round, I think we should now target the primary schools, and the main essays will be around how best they can articulate, and not just how best they can articulate, they can use those essays to articulate their needs. I could have said more, but I want to say that just one more thing. This morning, our visitors, we did not join you here because we were in the executive boardroom signing a memorandum of understanding with Kilimanjaro Blind Trust. And the main thing, we are very ambitious. We would want on this campus to invite students who are blind to come and study. We were informed that most of the blind students come to study education. We want to be the first university to experiment beyond education, things like economics, sociology, and other areas of study. We want to invite up to 30 students by the end of next year to be able to come and study. And in that package, we'll also make sure that we include children or students who can study subjects that are relevant to what we are discussing here. Special needs education, I don't need to belabor the point. We have students who are gifted differently, enabled differently, and in such conversation we can really lose them out. We want to find ways of engaging with them and empowering them. So our commitment is we'll continue to collaborate with World Vision Kenya and the national and county governments to make these conversations move forward. But to the children, I think it's good to say, as I sit, that we should distinguish between politicking and advocacy. When you're given such a forum, it's not an opportunity to embarrass your parent or your teacher. Take it as a positive opportunity for you to express your needs so that we can also look at them and engage with them. Deputy County Commissioner, the issue of the road, let's see what we can do. Let's work together. We've heard the students loud and clear. Thank you so much. And on behalf of the Vice Chancellor, please come again.
Thank you very much, Professor Ngure.
Hello, children. Today is your day. Tell yourself I'm very beautiful, and for the boys, I'm very handsome. Yes. You are looking very beautiful, very smart. I'm very proud of you today. I am Wamoyo Washira. I lecture here, and I lecture in peace and conflict studies. So my work is to make this world a better place, a peaceful place, So I heard you talking, asking things to be done. So mine is to say that you have a voice, and my work is to help you speak so that people can hear you. You speak peacefully. You have heard about section 28. How you can speak and speak peacefully. You have seen some of your brothers throwing stones, isn't it? The university students. Yeah, so we want to train you how you can speak about things that matter to you without throwing stones, without abusing anybody, and without using harsh words. How to create peaceful environment. I had, when I went around, I saw you want a peaceful environment with a lot of trees, and you want to eat well, you want clean water. And so I train your teachers on how to listen to you without being harsh. I train your parents on how to listen to you without being harsh. And also, I will come to your school to train you on how you can live with each other peacefully. Thank you very much, and we are very, very proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good evening. Thank you, our guests, our children. We're so proud of you, and thank you for coming. Two things for me. One for Madam Emire. I think when I had our students talk, I'm Alice Ndirango, and my area is in children and youth, and specifically child protection and safeguarding. I think one of the great desire is to build the capacity for our teachers, especially in the psychosocial and their own well-being, so that they are able to cascade that to our children. And not only our teachers, but I'm also looking at our youth officers. And at times I want to think like, if maybe they would talk and say their training and their capacity, maybe they may not really have what it takes to be actually at the point that they are in. So for me, capacity building is very, very critical. And here at St. Paul's, we have an institute, a training institute. So in case, together with World Vision, and in case you want the capacity to be built, even for the youth officers, so that they are able to do it well for our children, then our DVC, with your permission, I'm saying we have an institute for training because of building that capacity. Two is to the children. Children, mnanisikia, eh? I'm so happy that you talked about your rights, and they are all over the walls. And I want to say something nilisema asubuhi, that each of that right goes with a responsibility. So that you have your right, and we are happy as parents and even as leaders to fulfill those rights. But you also have a what? Please say responsibility. Yeah, so that if it's your right to be given food, I have seen a big food written there, then you also have a responsibility to respect your parent even as you ask for that food. You have a right to education. You're hearing me, eh? So it's your responsibility to work hard so that even as we allow and help you get your right, then you are also fulfilling your what? Your responsibility. So you also have a duty. Respect your parent, love them, stay well, peace and all that. So you also have a responsibility as we try and do our best to fulfill the rights that are there. So thank you so much. Back to you, Elijah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can I ask, can I get one volunteer boy and a girl? Anyone who wants to speak, I'll tell you what to say. A boy or a girl, one of you is going to pray, another one is going to give a vote of thanks. Who wants to give a vote of thanks? Okay, please come. And who wants to pray? Please come. Now, I want to thank you very much for joining us. You can notice the time is very minimal. So engagement with children require a whole day. So before the children pray with us this evening, I just wanted to request that one point, because we are in Limuru, and we are with St. Paul's Primary, engage with the children of St. Paul's Primary and package these issues in a manner that they can get feedback. The Deputy County Commissioner, I'm sure, will be keen on getting this going forward. So the team that worked on this, let's meet the children again and package these issues in a manner that every issue will be tracking, have they been given feedback. So thank you very much for joining us this evening. And St. Paul's University, thank you very much for joining us. And let's get the child to give a vote of thanks. Oh, amepotea kidogo. Kuna kitu mnataka kusema tumefungia? Okay, I'm reminded that the song be done before you finish. Who has to sing? Who was to sing? Huh? There was a song you are singing about rights. Who want to sing that song before you finish? Ama mmechoka? Huh? Who wants to sing? Haya, simameni tuimbe basi. Who's the choir master? On the count of 3 you start. 1, 2, sing. Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Mwalimu kuja usaidie. Wewe ndio ulifundisha hii wimbo na labda. This is our closing. Yeah. Thank you very much. So we can all rise up. Who's giving a vote of thanks?
Good evening once more. My name is Emery Njoki, and I want to give thanks to God for this day, because not all have woken up, but God has given us another new day to begin to come here. Not kuna hadi wenye waliacha kazi zao kuja hapa. I thank you all. Secondly, I want to thank our teachers, because no walituambia hii message, hatukuwa tunajua. And the third thing, kuwashukuru nyinyi wote, and I hope challenges will be followed na zitasikika, not only here, even outside. The fourth thing is, God bless you, and I hope next year we will celebrate the same day. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So let's all rise up for a word of prayer.
Let's close our eyes for the word of prayer. Our dear Heavenly Father, we come for this evening. We thank you for the gift of life. We thank you for everything you've done for us today, in the name of Jesus. Thank you for the celebration of today, and we finish well, in the name of Jesus. Thank you for everything you've done for us, and trusting and believing. Amen.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So we'll ask the people sit at the front to leave first, then the children will remain a little bit. Thank you for coming. You're free to leave. The children, please be seated. Watoto waketi. So we have come to the end of our meeting.
My name is Saint Cyprian. I wanted to ask what measures are being in place to reduce the juvenile crime rate in the country?
Juvenile crime. I want to understand you to say that that means children who commit offenses or come into conflict with the law, and what we are doing to do that. Today, as we sit here, let me just say that this is one way when people understand their rights and their responsibilities. That is one way when children understand their rights and their duties, and the fact that they need to respect the rule of law. Why the rule of law? That when you know that this is wrong, this is not right to do, then you will not do it. Of course, when children come into conflict with the law and they come through the justice system, there is the effort by every person dealing with the child to rehabilitate that child, okay? Either outside the institution, which is, as I said, the rehab school or the Boston institution, or within the community. How does that happen? By raising awareness of the rights of that child within the community, and the fact that we all have a duty to ensure that children do not come into conflict with the law. Why do children come into the justice system? Why do children commit crime? Because as adults, somewhere along the way we let go.